All right, everybody, it's episode 57. What I'm doing right now, I haven't done these that much. I'm not doing a whole lot of it, but this is a Cleveland Hustles recap. I didn't follow up. I didn't do what I said I was going to do, which is to kind of look at each episode and go show by show and be mad at it and stuff like that. Because initially, the first two shows, hold on, theme music, and then come back and I'll get started on this. Drop the beat. All right, so I'm coming back. I'm explaining why I failed you in talking about Cleveland Hustles. I started watching the show. In the second episode, saw a white business pitted against a black business, and I was like, all right, first show had a white business pitted against a black business. Second show, white business pitted against a black business. But what I'm realizing is this. Um, Black people tend to start businesses that are more social. So, I mean, and I know that's a generalization, and I hate doing generalizing, but let me explain. They start restaurants, which are good, um, hair salons, barbershops, um, things like car detailing service. These are businesses that can't really be scaled. Now, the restaurant can be scaled. In this instance, on the second episode, they had the honey guy, and he turned down an investment from Sawyer, which I thought was interesting. But I also thought to myself, you know what? A honey place, just honey, was not going to make it anyway. So it was probably a good thing he turned it down. But the shows actually evened out. And what they're basically doing is taking these areas that are depressed in Cleveland, this Gordon Square area, and they're going to build it back up and make it into a vibrant community. Now, Memphis is doing something very similar in what's called the Overton Square area. And it's a great project. We go to Overton Square often. It's great restaurants. You can walk around. It's not very big, though, but it's not that far from the Overton Park. So you could walk to the park if you wanted to, but more than likely, most of the people that go there, they stay right there in that area and do their shopping and eating. And it's a very cool spot. Well, the Gordon Square project, they ended up with three or four businesses, soda company, um, Fount, which is the leather bag company or the leather goods company, the Bagel, Cleveland Bagel, and I think the last one was it was found. Oh, Groundswell, the yoga company, which was completely insane as far as I'm concerned. You go out and you build a deck on top of a building in a place that has cold weather for like 6 months. It doesn't make sense, but that's me, and I'm ranting, so I get to rant. Overall, this was not a LeBron James thing. It was one of the most realistic shows in regard to entrepreneurship that I've seen. Now, obviously, they had to put some pressure on the people and make it, where you had to get something done in a certain amount of time, which typically wouldn't happen. But I do understand the idea of an investor. I don't, because I don't get an investor, but somebody should invest in me. I'm a damn good person, man, and I'm a great business person. But anyway, that's another story. I get the idea that an investor wants to get their money back quickly, so they wanted to rush these guys into getting businesses open. But what they did was probably one of the best things I've seen on the reality business show kind of market. They showed the revitalization of this Gordon Square area with four unique businesses and these investors coming in. So they gave these guys mentors, they opened them up to opportunities. And overall, I have to say that Cleveland Hustles was a very good show. Now, if you're a black person looking at it and you're like, well, there were no black businesses that got invested in. Um, there were a couple that were up, but they didn't kind of meet the. Once again, you can't get mad at something when you are not making yourself available in that way. And I don't know if there was a lot of people who actually applied for it who were probably African American or Asian American for that matter. I mean, let's be real. It doesn't really matter the culture in this regard. I'm just a black guy talking about a show, so I'm putting it in the frame of black folks. But initially, I was going to be irritated. I'm glad I thought about the show and watched it all the way through because it was a very good show. If you can go back and DVR it, or if you can go to CNBC and look it up, I think you should definitely do that. You should go ahead and look it up. And I'm going to stop saying should. I appreciated the show. I thought it was eye-opening. I like the premise. And I think what could happen is locally, if someone was smart enough or had the skill to bring it about, I think locally every city could have a Cleveland hustle type show. So CNBC, if you're listening, if you watch this video, you should actually do this show in almost every kind of small, big city. That's all I have to say. I thought it was a great show. Shout out LeBron James. Bunnin, shout out Bunnin. In your hair. I had to do that. Congrats to the companies that were invested in. I hope everybody's successful. I think it's definitely worth your time. You guys should peep it. That's it. Sorry I didn't get to it and do it a bunch more, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe down below. Go and look at some of my old videos. Make sure you share the videos, and I will check you guys later on the next episode. Insider Ties every Tuesday. What I'm doing right now, whenever I think about it. Peace.